Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lararia, I love manga and video games. And today we're going to talk about some series I would like to have in my collection. You guys know I love collecting manga, and there are so many series I would like to own, but I still haven't even started for one reason or another. So we're going to talk about some of these. There are so many more, but I picked the ones I'm most interested in. And I've divided them into a few different categories. So yeah, let's start because we have so many to get through. So the first category is series my boyfriend owns, so there is actually no point for me to buy them because I can borrow them from him, and a few of these I actually already read. So yeah, we have Watakoi. It's one of my favorite series. I love it so much. I love every story that talks about otaku, and the characters in this series are just so great. I also recommend the anime, but the manga is so much better because the anime is like really short. There is so much more in the manga. And it's so funny and cute. It's like adorable. Sometimes I think I'm like the main character, Narumi. She's me. Then we have Made in Abyss, another one of my favorite series, and this one is ongoing, and I'm actually a little behind on the manga because volumes don't come out very often. So yeah, I'm waiting for the story to progress a little before I go back to it, and I think I actually want to start it from the beginning again, because I forgot a lot, but I love this series. It's a fantasy series. It's about this girl, Riko, who meets this android boy, Reg, and they start going down this huge abyss, and it's a crazy story, very dark. Don't let the cute art style fool you because it's crazy. The anime is also really great. Then we have Frieren, one of my most recent obsessions. I love Frieren so much. It needs no introduction, of course. And yeah, I haven't read any of the volumes, I've only watched the anime for now, but I'm planning on reading the volumes because now I finished season 2 of the anime and I have to wait for season 3 for who knows how long. I believe it was announced for next year, so yeah, I might start the manga in the meantime. Then we have Death Note. It's a classic. I love Death Note. I love the anime. I've never read the manga, but yeah, I want to read it. It's great. Soul Eater, another one of my favorite series, and I actually completed the manga. I read all the manga. The anime is amazing, but it's cut short, and there is so much more in the manga, and the ending is different. So yeah, if you like the anime, read the manga. The manga is amazing. Then we have the manga adaptation for Psycho Pass. The first season, which is my favorite, Psycho Pass is one of my favorite anime. It's like sci-fi in kind of a dystopic setting, which I love, where basically there is this system which can tell how likely you are to become a criminal. So yeah, police uses that system to catch criminals, and it's amazing. It's so good. So let's move on to the next category, which is nostalgic series. So some of these I've watched the anime a long time ago. We have Elfen Lied, which I watched so long ago, I don't remember much. I remember there was something about this kind of special creatures. You can see she's not human. She has like these little, I think it's horns, not ears. But yeah, she has like telekinesis powers, and from what I've heard, the manga is different from the anime, so yeah, I would like to collect it, but it's actually really hard to find in Italy, which is the same for most of this series. Actually, I think all of them but one. Next one is Angel Sanctuary. Same thing, I watched the anime, which is actually not an anime, it's like, I believe, 4 episodes OVA. And I've watched it a long ago, and I honestly don't remember much, just that it was really interesting. So I would be very curious to read the manga. But again, it's hard to find. Next we have Vampire Knight. So as a teenager, I went into my vampire phase where, you know, I watched the anime for Vampire Knight. I believe I was together with my cousin, we were watching it together, and I enjoyed it at the time. I don't know if I would still enjoy it, and I've never tried the manga. I know the manga is pretty long, actually, and of course very hard to find in Italy again. But yeah, it would be nice to read the manga. I don't think that is going to happen because I've seen the complete series on Vinted, and it's really expensive. Another very expensive series, Deadman Wonderland. Again, I watched the anime as a teenager and I loved it. All I remember is it's like this sort of death game with these characters who are kept prisoners. They have to complete this sort of games, which, you know, it's a premise I always love. And again, I don't remember much, and the anime, I believe it got 1 or 2 seasons and then it got cancelled, and so the anime never ended. So yeah, I would be curious to read the manga and see how it ends, and honestly read it from the beginning because I remember nothing. Then we have Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, this is by Clamp, and I believe this was the second Clamp anime I've watched, and I haven't watched the entire anime. I love Chobits, so after that I found out that there is this sort of universe where everything is connected in Clamp's works. So I tried Tsubasa and it was interesting. It's much more fantasy series. But yeah, again, I've never read the manga and it's really long and really hard to find in Italy, so we'll see. And the final one is Kodomo no Mocha, which is called Rossana in Italian, which is an Italian name. I believe they picked this name because the main character's name is Sana, so it was easy to pick Rossana as a name. But yeah, this is one of my very first anime I've ever watched when I was a kid and I didn't even know what anime was. I used to watch this together with anime like Dragon Ball, Pokemon and Digimon. So yeah, I have very fond memories of this anime, but I don't remember much, and honestly I've heard the manga is really different, but I do remember that the main character, Sana, was a child idol, and the manga is about her daily life and, you know, her school activities and idol activities. So yeah, I would like to see what the manga is like. Next category is series where I've watched the anime, which honestly doesn't make much sense because all of these I've watched the anime for, but these are more like nostalgic series. Well, these are series I've watched as an adult. So we have Erased, which I remember really enjoying. It has sort of mystery and time travel, which are things I always like. The main character goes back in time to solve the mystery of one of his childhood friends who died, I believe. It's been a long time. My memory is bad. But yeah, I would like to read the manga. Then we have Parasite, another anime I really enjoyed about an alien parasite who possesses the main character's hand. That's all I remember, but I would like to read the manga. And then we have Banana Fish. I watched the anime twice and I love it so much. This anime broke me. Both times I watched. I remember the first time I watched it, I could only watch like one episode a day because it was really heavy. But I love it. Really heartbreaking, and I would like to have the manga. Next category is series I'm curious of. So this series I haven't read or watched the anime, or some of them I really don't know much about, but from what I've heard or seen or like reading the premise, I think I might enjoy them and I'm really curious of. Yona of the Dawn, of course, doesn't need an introduction. It's a shoujo historical fantasy, and the protagonist is Yona, and I believe it follows her on her journey to try and get her kingdom back. Please don't kill me if I say something wrong. I don't know much about it. I remember watching the first episode, but that was a long time ago. So yeah, I would like to read the manga, but it's a very long one. I believe it's about 40 something volumes, so who knows, it might be a little too much. The next one is Homunculus, and I believe in this one some people can get sort of a surgery to have something injected in their brain, and I think they get some abilities or something. I've heard very good things about this, and my boyfriend is actually reading it, and so far he's enjoyed it, so I'm curious. The next one is Medalist, and I love figure skating, so when I saw this I was like, ooh, I need to read it. I haven't read many sports series, but if I do pick one, I think I'm going to go with Medalist. I haven't really heard much about it, so I don't know how good it is, but I love the sport, so I think I would enjoy it. Then we have X by Clamp, and honestly, I would like to just read more Clamp series. I know nothing about X, but I know it's a very controversial work, which most of Clamp works can be considered controversial, but this is, from what I've heard, the most controversial one, and that intrigues me. I believe in Italy it got cancelled because of problematic stuff, so it's very hard to find. But yeah, I picked this one and Tsubasa, but there are so many works by Clamp that I would like to read. Then we have Honey and Clover, and this is by the same author of March Comes In Like a Lion, which is a manga I'm currently reading and really enjoying. And from what I've heard, this one is about art, and of course there is a lot of drama because that's the same as March Comes In Like a Lion. It's just how the author writes stories, and I've heard very good things about it, so I'm curious. Also, doesn't she look adorable, the girl on the cover? And next one is Blam by Tsutomu Nihei, and I would just like to read something by Tsutomu Nihei, but it's really hard because in Italy, we basically only have very old editions, which are impossible to find, or this sort of master editions, which are huge editions, like, I'm not joking, like this huge and so expensive. And all I know about his stories is that they are sci-fi, and I've heard a lot of good things about them. I believe this one is set in a post-apocalyptic setting, which I usually like. And I just love his art. The drawings are amazing. So yeah, I'm really sad that it's so hard to actually read one of his works. And more series I'm curious of, we have Silver Spoon, of course, by Hiromu Arakawa, the author of Fullmetal Alchemist, and this is so different from Fullmetal Alchemist. This is a slice of life set in a farm. I believe the main characters are students who are learning about farming. So yeah, I don't know if this is for me, but I love Fullmetal Alchemist, so I'm curious. I've heard that this one is the author's best work, so that really intrigues me. Also, the cows are so cute. Next we have Ikigami, and from what I know, some random people are selected to die, and this follows those people in their last few days, I think, of their lives, and we get to see how they spend their last few hours or days in their life before they know they will die. So yeah, I'm intrigued. Next one is called 666 Satan, and it's by Seishi Kishimoto, who is actually the twin brother of Masashi Kishimoto, the author of Naruto. I randomly found out that Masashi Kishimoto had a twin brother earlier this year, watching a random video on YouTube which got recommended to me. So I instantly got curious because I knew nothing about him, and apparently he didn't get nearly as famous as his twin brother, unfortunately, and his stories started getting weirder and crazier each time. I think this is his first complete manga, and from what you can tell, he has a pretty similar style to his twin brother. I know that they used to draw together when they were little, so that is really cute. I want to see why Masashi got so famous and Seishi couldn't, you know? I'm intrigued. Next we have Guns, and this one is another survival death game sort of setting. So yeah, I'm always intrigued. I've heard amazing things about this, and the author also wrote Inuyashiki, which I watched the anime a few years ago and I really liked it. So yeah, I'm curious. It's just another one that's really hard to find, and I believe it's kind of a long series. Mushishi is such a different and unique series, and it's set in this sort of magical world where mushi are. I'm not sure if mushi are like sort of spirits or like giant bugs. I know the word mushi means bugs, and from what I know, he just goes around and looks for this mushi. But that's basically all I know about it. I've just heard amazing things about it. Next we have The Climber. Again, I don't know much about it. I know it's a very well-loved series and it's probably about climbing, so I'm guessing it's a sports series, but I've heard it's so much more than that. Next category, we have some series I'd like to continue. So this series, I probably own at least one volume of them. We have A Bride's Story, amazing. I love reading about different cultures. And of course, Kaoru Mori's art is gorgeous. So yeah, I've read 4 volumes. I would like to continue. I don't even know why I stopped. I guess I had other priorities. And I'm trying to follow so many series, so it's hard. It's hard to keep up with everything. And then we have Noragami. I really enjoyed the anime for Noragami, and I think the manga is complete in something like 17 volumes. And I've read 4 volumes again, and I like it. It's set in the real world with like supernatural beings, like gods. So yeah, I usually like that kind of setting. Next we have Ranma 1/2. I read 3 volumes of the omnibus, which is 2 in 1s, and I love Ranma. I used to watch the anime when I was little. So yeah, I would like to own the entire series, but it's a long one, you know. Next we have Your Lie in April. I loved the anime so much, oh my gosh, and I've read the first volume of the manga and I really liked it. I'm not 100% sure if I would enjoy the manga as much as the anime because it's a story about music, so the anime is really good because you can also listen to the music and hear them play music, which is great. But yeah, I love the story so much, and it's been a while since I watched the anime, so I would like to read the manga and see if I also like the manga. Next we have Bungo Stray Dogs, and this is such a weird series. I've only read 1 volume, and the first volume I thought it was good, but I've heard so many amazing things about it. So many people love it and think it's very unique. So yeah, I might decide to continue with it. It's just, again, not easy to find in Italy. Same as this last one on this page, Blood on the Tracks, which is by Shuzo Oshimi. I've read a few Shuzo Oshimi stories, and some of them I loved, some of them are just okay or weren't really my favorites. But this one sounds like it's kind of different from what I've read, and it's more like more towards like horror, I think, psychological horror, which really intrigues me. Next category is manga, which has no Italian edition yet. So the first one is actually my favorite animation movie, which is Macchia. I think the English name is When the Promised Flower Blooms, and the anime is amazing. The manga, you know, it's a manga adaptation, so I'm not expecting much, but since I love the story so much and the characters, I would love to own the manga. I do have a few manga adaptations from movies. Some of them are good, some of them are just okay, but this one is really special to me, at least the movie, so I would really like to have the manga. Please, please guys, this manga series, can we get them in Italian, please? Next one is number 6. And I watched the anime for number 6 a few years ago and I really loved it. It's set in a futuristic world, and I remember it's about these 2 boys. One is a wanted criminal, I think, and the other one is like a rich boy, and then they run together, and I don't remember much, but I remembered loving the anime, so I would like to read the manga. Then we have 86, and I've watched the anime earlier this year and I loved it so much. And I know it's from a light novel, but I don't really read light novels, so I would love the manga instead. And this one is set in a post-apocalyptic society where the people are divided into two groups. The ones that look like her, so they have white hair, and the ones who don't have white hair are basically forced to live outside the city and protect the city where all these privileged people live and fight against these sort of AI controlled robots. And yeah, it's about war, but it's really interesting and I love the characters. Then we have A Story of Seven Lives, and this is about kitties. I've heard it's really good and it looks adorable. I'm also reading a manga about cats and I'm loving it so much. So if this one is anything similar to that, I'm sure I would love it. Then we have Tomodachi Game. I watched the anime earlier this year and it's another, sort of death game, but not really death game, more similar to Liar Game, but in high school, where this group of students are taken to this place where they have to participate in this Tomodachi game, and if they lose, they will be in a huge debt. I love this kind of premise, and the anime was fun. And the next one is Omori, and this is from a video game, which I love. And actually this one got an announcement, so we will eventually get the manga in Italy, which, yay! I'm so happy. I cannot wait to collect this, because the video game was amazing. I really loved it. So yeah, I'm really hopeful for the manga. And again, more manga which have no Italian edition are these three adaptations from video games, and the first one is Tales of Zestiria. Tales of Zestiria is my favorite Tales of game, and unfortunately there is no Italian edition for the manga, but we got a few Tales of manga adaptations in Italian. I do own Symphonia and Abyss, so I'm hopeful. Please, Zestiria. I know Zestiria is not as popular as Symphonia, but also the Symphonia manga adaptation was actually really good. I really liked it, so yeah. And the next ones are Persona 3 and Persona 4. We have the manga adaptation of Persona 5, which is of course the most popular one, but my favorites are actually 3 and 4, so I would love to have the manga for this. So yeah, those are basically all of the manga series that, well, not all of them, but some of the manga series I would like to own in my collection. What do you guys think of this series? Have you read any of these? Do you recommend any of these? Or do you have any other recommendations? Which are some manga series that you would like to collect? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!